do that right now. We're going to pass out, we have palms for everybody. And are you able to do a song? And we're going to spend time welcoming in the presence of the King, just as they did on Palm Sunday. And as they're giving them out, I'm going to ask Nancy to come just to share a little bit, or give a little update while we're handing out the palm.
Good afternoon, everyone. Aren't we having a blessed time here?
Yes.
I'm so delighted to be here with my friends of Queens, New York, AGLOW Lighthouse, as well as Pastor Gary. Pastor Gary has been a great prophetic voice in my life, especially this last 1 year. So thank you, and a great support. I'm here to share about my books that are in the back. I'm celebrating the release of my 4th book. It just came out last week. It launched right here. It's By Faith. It's adventures and reflections on walking with God here and abroad. And it's the story, it's basically my testimony of how God chased me down during one amazing week in Australia. He called me out of my successful career in journalism and called me to lay it down and to serve Him. So I take you along as I travel on 5 short-term mission trips to Ecuador, Brazil, Honduras, Ethiopia, and Peru. And I just share God's fingerprints, how I've seen Him, and how I felt the call of God to evangelize while I was in Israel. So it's a big, beautiful world out there. I share just stories from travels to 6 continents, and also just sort of what I'm doing now. My other books are back there as well. So those books, Waiting on God Well, Abounding Faith, and Crossing Your Jordan River, have been blessing and encouraging pastors, pastors' wives, missionaries, other ministry leaders, as well as those young in the Lord. And this book, I'm so delighted, is being endorsed by Our Daily Bread Ministries, as well as the president of Nyack College, and also a regional director of the Christian Women in Media Association. So God is good. So the theme of this book really is taste and see that the Lord is good. And my prayer is that it encourages everyone. There's a chapter on how you can live your God-given dreams, because we're all given gifts, talents, and abilities. And it's not just for us, but to be a blessing to others. And there's also a discussion guide too. So I hope that my books also don't just sit on the shelf, but you can share them and talk to your small group or book club members as well. So again, I'm praying that it will bless and encourage you. If you'd like to buy a copy, you can see my mom in the back afterwards. And again, I just want to encourage you. I wasn't looking for God. When I went to Australia, I didn't know He was going to chase me down. I didn't know what lays ahead, and we all are called to live by faith and not by sight. Amen. And what a glorious story it is. It's still unfolding, and the same thing for all of you, so I want to encourage you. I think the biggest lesson that I've learned is just to say yes when God calls you. It doesn't always make sense. Many times He calls you out of your comfort zone. I know that many times when He asks me to do something, my first reaction is no. Then it turns into a maybe. And then it turns into a wholehearted yes. And so my prayer is that you get to that point. Sometimes I'll ask you something and your first reaction is no. Pray about it, wait, give it time. And I pray that you will also say yes wholeheartedly to what God's calling you. And that you will also, your testimony will always be that God is faithful. Yes. And that He is good. So taste and see that the Lord is good. Amen.
Amen. Glory and victory.
Amen.
Amen. So let's all stand.